boy, things are heating up on day 2 of Tesla's RoboTaxi launch in Austin. It's June 24th, 2025, and so far it is going perfectly, in my opinion. And according to other influencers, it is getting actually to a point where riding in the back of a Tesla RoboTaxi is becoming boring, which is a good thing because it's becoming more and more normal. And actually, if you were already experience with driving with full self-driving supervised on your own personal Teslas, it really is no surprise at how well the Tesla robotaxis are performing, right? But things are heating up. You know how you know when you're winning, folks? You're winning when there is a superior product out there in the market and the haters come out from their tunnels and start to try to find things that are not perfect yet. And here's my opinion on the matter. Now, I've seen a few videos, right? One in particular, which we will go over later, where it is getting blown out of proportion, right? What I don't want to do is I don't want to compare the Tesla robotaxi to any other so-called autonomous vehicle. This so far is only Waymo. And in my opinion, Waymo is simply on a lower tier and cannot compete with Tesla robotaxi in any metric, in no metric. It cannot compete in cost, and it cannot compete in scalability, and it cannot compete on data points either. Now these are inarguable facts, and I am not going to do the research for you. If you want to form your own unbiased opinion on which technology, at least on paper, is superior, then I would highly recommend that you do your own research and really compare the two technologies as they stand. Now, that's enough for the comparison, right? What I want to get to is just why are we hyper focusing on the things, and the way I see it, I can see only one major thing that would normally make a user watching it from the outside, as it did me as well. It made me cringe a little bit, right? It had a pucker factor where you had to like, okay, what's going on here, right? Now, we don't want that in an autonomous vehicle. But the reality is that this autonomous vehicle, the Tesla robotaxi, when encountered this situation, which I will show you the video later, okay? When it encountered this situation, acted like a human being, right? And corrected itself and continued on driving without incident, right? And I will show you just exactly why this acted as a human being, maybe even better than a human being, all right? Maybe even better, because we all know that for some reason, I mean, for me personally, this is my opinion now, okay? I really don't remember the number of distracted drivers who were on the road, even just like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like, okay, we can argue that our devices have gone out of control, and there are now more distractions than ever in our pockets. But even then, I mean, 5, 6 years ago, we still had plenty of distractions, and for some reason, not only am I noticing drivers being more and more distracted, right? But basic road etiquette seems to be getting lost more and more as the time progresses. People are just becoming more and more aggressive. People are literally taking out their angers and frustrations out on the road in a dangerous Russian roulette of a game with not only the driver's life, but with the public's life around that passenger. This to me is simply unacceptable. And I personally, I mean, I know it's being noticed more and more with the general public. I know I'm not the only one, but I'm speaking only on my behalf, and I personally do not like the trend that I'm seeing out on the roads. Now, what can we do? Or what can we do to fix this problem? Because certainly the real root cause of the problem is actually human behavior. That's the root cause of the problem, right? But there is no way anyone can be mandated to correct human behavior. And as long as humans have autonomy, have autonomy of their emotions and they lack the ability to control their emotions, there will always be problems like this happening. Unfortunately, when it happens on the road, innocent lives are also affected in this Russian roulette of a game that some drivers, which are becoming more and more, which are increasing more and more on the road, are playing with their lives and other people's lives. Now, just take a look at this video, and you let me know like how much anxiety you get by just watching this video, right? Now, here's a pickup truck trying to merge in front of this truck right here, and this truck is just not having it, right? It's just not having it. Now, it is irrelevant on who is correct here. It is irrelevant. The reality is that this is a ticking time bomb, right? We don't know who is in these vehicles. We don't know the type of actions any of these individuals are capable of doing, right? We don't know how they're going to react, right? Not only that, but whatever happened to basic human courtesy, road etiquette. This is a classic zipper merge. Now, we obviously don't know what happened prior to this clip, right? We don't know what happened. We don't know how the pickup truck was driving or how the bigger truck was driving. We have no idea. But the point is that it's irrelevant. When it comes on public roads and innocent people are in the mix, I don't care. I don't want this. I don't want this. Now, the only way to fix this without technology is to correct human behavior. And that's not going to happen, all right? That's simply not going to happen. So this is argument number one, why we need an AI-driven autonomous vehicle, all right? Now, look at this video here. Look at video number 2 to prove my point here, right? Okay. These people are stuck on a train. These people are stuck on a passenger train for hours, and it lost power during a heat wave, right? Let's see where exactly is this at. Amtrak train stuck in tunnel with no AC. An Amtrak train traveling from DC to Boston has been stuck in a Baltimore tunnel with no power since about 3:40 p.m. according to passengers, okay? This was yesterday, all right? And it was like in the 90s yesterday. Now, in this passenger train, it must be like close to 100, close to 100 degrees in there. No AC, no ventilation. This is also unacceptable. This is also unacceptable. You know what fixes this, in my opinion? In my opinion, this is unacceptable. In my opinion, when the Tesla RoboTaxi goes live, and it will go live very soon, in my opinion, your own personal Tesla vehicle becomes a train car, literally a train car on wheels on the road. And you will never have to experience such an occurrence like this in your life. In your life. It's about to be 2026, ladies and gentlemen. We can't be having this kind of stuff going on. In my opinion, I don't want this kind of stuff going on. All right? The Tesla RoboTaxi will fix this. The AI-driven self-driving suite from Tesla will be fixing problems of human behavior, making roads safer. As a matter of fact, there are plenty of studies out there that already show on data, on collected data, that the full self-driving supervised, as it is currently right now on Tesla vehicles, are already many times safer than a regular human driver. Mainly because the Tesla full self-driving suite supervised currently on the consumer side never gets distracted. Now, this brings me to the point of, now we have many similar headlines like this, right? This is a headline, unfortunately, from the New York Post, which, in my opinion, this headline is a clickbait headline, all right? And frankly, it is really implying that the Tesla RoboTaxis are unsafe and therefore unfit to be on public roads. Now, this is simply wrong. Now, let's read the headline here from New York Post. Tesla RoboTaxi swerved into wrong lane. Top speed limit in videos posted during successful rollout by Thomas Barabi, and it's published on June 23rd, okay? Now, let's take a look at the video that they're talking about, where this journalist states that the Tesla RoboTaxi swerved onto the wrong road. Now, I want you to look at this, all right? Before I play this video, there is a pucker factor, and admittedly, I did not like what I saw either, right? I did not like what I saw in this video. At the same time, I also understand that this is literally day 2 of the Tesla RoboTaxi rollout, all right? This is why Tesla decided to do a very small scale rollout of about 10 to 20 Tesla RoboTaxis, each with a supervisor in the passenger seat. So the car is still driving fully autonomously without a driver, but to maintain the presence of ultimate safety at the moment, even if the RoboTaxi was capable of the ultimate safety presence, Tesla has decided to keep a Tesla supervisor in the passenger seat, all right? Now, let's watch this video. This is the video that's being blown up out of proportion, right? And I'm going to warn you, there is a pucker factor, right? I did not like what I saw either. But just look at the whole video, and then let's analyze it afterwards, okay? Here we go. Okay, all right, here we go, ready? Right here. Now, the question to be asking here is, first of all, I don't know the destination or this area, right? The question to be asking here is, why was this Tesla RoboTaxi making this turn in the first place, right? That's number one. Was the Tesla RoboTaxi making this turn to get to the destination, right? Was this a destination gear turn, right? Or was this turn made in complete error, right? That's the number one question to ask, and we don't have that information yet, right? Then, assuming the worst case scenario, right? Assuming the worst case scenario, the turn was made in a complete error, right? Now look what happens here. Okay, there's a jiggle of the wheel. And you can see over here on the main screen, right? On the main screen here, that the GPS marking here, where the RoboTaxi is indicating where it's going to go, begins to jiggle also with the wheel. Let's see that right now, and put your attention on the center screen here, okay? Here we go. It's gonna jiggle, and the indicator will also jiggle. Boom, boom, jiggle, and correct. Okay, so it jiggled, and if I was in that vehicle, I would be a little concerned. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth, right? I would be a little concerned if I was in that vehicle and this happened. As a matter of fact, if I was in my own personal vehicle on supervised FSD and this happened, I would immediately disengage my FSD and take over the wheel, right? That's where I would intervene, actually, because if this was a mistake, and if I was not, and if the vehicle, and if the destination did not call for this turn, then number one, that's a huge error. I don't know why it happened. Was it a GPS error? I mean, why was this error? What caused this error to begin with is my question, right? And once we have that information, then we could put everything else into context and really get to the root of the problem, right? But I'm going off a worst case scenario. It was an error somehow. It was an error, and it was not supposed to make that turn. And having made that turn, it corrected itself a little sloppily, right? A little sloppily. If I had been driving, I would have disengaged FSD and taken over the wheel. However, there was no driver here as the car is fully autonomous, right? So it actually did a good job in that it did correct itself, right? So now let's see what happens. It corrected itself and is going down the road, right? Now here's the thing. Here is where the headline says that it went down, what exactly did the headline say? That swerved into wrong lane, okay? It swerved into the wrong lane. Okay, so here is the yellow line right here, right? And here, there are 3 lanes ahead with 1 left-only turning lane right here, right? Now, any human driver, okay, maybe not any human driver, but me, speaking personally, speaking for myself, if this is a left-only turning lane and there is no traffic, opposing traffic coming down here, I most likely will be inclined to go over the yellow line to make that third left-only turning lane. Why? Because the cars are backed up here, and there should be a left turn only arrow, which I do not want to miss because of this backup here. And there is no opposing traffic here. So using my human judgment and my discretion and me fully knowing what the heck I'm doing, I would have probably done the exact same thing this Tesla RoboTaxi is doing. I would have gone past over the yellow lines to make this left turning lane. There is no other traffic you can see over here. So yes, I would have probably done the exact same thing, okay? Let's see. And that's where the video ends. Okay. I don't know, guys. You tell me. You tell me. Leave a comment below. You tell me what your opinion is on that maneuver. Personally, I would have made that maneuver, right? And admittedly, the jiggle that happened there was not comfortable. It was not comfortable. But here's how I think about it, right? This is literally on day 2 of the Tesla RoboTaxi launch. This is day 2. How do we learn? How do humans learn? Humans learn from making mistakes, right? Humans learn from making mistakes. Nobody's perfect, right? How can we expect a self-driving AI to be perfect from the get-go? The fact that it has billions of miles already recorded is an accomplishment in and of itself, right? But the Tesla AI still has to learn, right? It still has to learn. And it learns by making a mistake, processing it in real time, faster than most humans, and correcting it. So the way I see it is, I see this event as a net positive. Why? Because number 1, a mistake was made, right? Number 1, a mistake was made. We can see it. We saw it, right? The mistake is there, right, for us to see. Number 2, and importantly, and just as importantly, maybe even more importantly, nobody was hurt. And number 3, the reason why it's a net positive, right? On top of nobody being hurt, it corrected itself, and definitely the AI learned from this, so that for whatever reason this error occurred, should never happen again. It should never happen again, right? Now, let's address the fact. Let's address the title, the New York Post heading, where it says the speed limit was exceeded, right? Okay, let's go to this video right here. Okay, now this is a video of, let me get it straight here, 1 second. This is a video that on the screen, on the center screen of Tesla, you can see right here, it shows the speed limit as 20 miles an hour. However, before I start this video, check out the community notes underneath, right? It says the speed limit for this road is 35 miles per hour. The highest speed shown in this clip is 38 miles per hour. This is 8% over the speed limit, not nearly over twice the speed limit. Now, the full self-driving on my Tesla has an ability to go up to 8% or 10%, I think, offset of the speed limit, right? So you can control this. That's number 1. Number 2, almost all people will go over the speed limit by at least 8%, right? At least 8%, without any kind of safety issue, right? Of course, using your own judgment. So now let's see the video here. Okay, so the speed limit, here we go. The speed limit shows 20 miles per hour here. Now here's the thing, right? This is me from personal experience. From personal experience, the speed limit posted on the center screen is not always up to date. Is not always updated. And it only updates once it crosses another sign that says what the posted speed limit is. So if you're coming off of a road at 25 miles per hour speed limit, right? Because you crossed the sign that says 25 miles per hour. When you cross the 25 mile per hour speed limit sign, it then registers on the main screen here, on the center screen. It registers there, right? However, now that you're off of the 25 mile per hour road and you enter a 35 mile per hour road, this will not update until you cross the sign that says 35 miles per hour, right? Now, this is something that Tesla could probably improve on, right? Using GPS data, not strictly vision-based data for speed limits. In my opinion, the speed limit posting should correlate with actual GPS data on the road. Now, I don't know how they're going to do that, but that's the only way to be as most accurate as possible when it comes to displaying the speed limit on the center console here. So, having personal experience with this, I know that the speed limit does not change until you pass the speed limit sign. So here you go. And of course, this looks terrible because the speed limit is 20 and he's going nearly twice the speed limit. And in my opinion, this is just sloppy journalism. Sloppy journalism. Because I am 100% sure that those of us who actually own Teslas and use full self-driving regularly will know that the speed limit posted on the center console is not immediately updated. It only updates as far as I've noticed, and I have a hardware 4 model, right? I'm using hardware 4. As far as I have noticed, the speed limit does not change on the center console until I actually pass the sign which states the actual speed limit. The road could be a different speed limit. You're coming off of a road with one speed limit and the road changes to a different speed limit and the sign comes later, right? The sign comes later. That doesn't mean that that road that you are on now is not that speed limit. That just means that the sign just came later, right? And the only way to fix this is to actually use GPS data to update the center console here. So this pretty much is all the action that's been going on since day 2 of the RoboTaxi. Now, already FSD has already proven itself to be much safer than regular human drivers. Nothing is perfect from the start, right? The most important part is that as long as no one gets hurt and errors are corrected in real time while maintaining that no one gets hurt or there is no actual mishap like an accident or a crash or any of these kinds of things, in my opinion, it's all positive because it all teaches the Tesla AI and future occurrences won't be repeated of that nature. Anyway, folks, if you like what you saw, please give me a like, follow, or a subscribe. Please share my videos with as many people as you can. And if you agree with me or disagree with me, please leave a comment below. I want to have a conversation. I would appreciate if I could hear or see your own perspectives on this matter. What do you think? Is that wrong lane incident a deal breaker for you? Let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, have a nice day.